Hey guys, Merry Meet. This is Anastasia Autumnfire, and tonight I am doing a video for my Emperor craft. For my weekly tarot study, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous video or not, but I'm changing it up where I am just doing one video for the week regarding the cards instead of doing the two videos, one with me going on and droning about pages and pages of research that I've done that anyone could do. I'm still doing that, but keeping that just for myself. And then I am sharing a video illustrating the craft that connects me to that card, or that I kind of felt sums up the lesson that I learned that week. So for me, the Emperor card is was very much about using your logic in your intuition as well as your heart. When I first looked at the card, I kind of thought it was going to be a very cold and distant card, very kind of rigid, but it actually really helped me so much. I have a tendency to look to the past to learn lessons. Kind of when I come against a situation that I'm really struggling with, I look at it and go, okay, in the past I must have come across something like this. How did I deal with it then? And my issue with that is when that happens, I can and usually do get caught up in the past at that point. I get stuck in that moment or that event that kind of that I went through before. I get swept away with the emotion and I don't necessarily move on from it. It becomes an issue where I've gone through this in the past and I had the hurt and I had the pain, but I keep focusing on the hurt and the pain. I don't focus on, okay, I'm accepting this pain, I'm accepting this hurt, and now I am learning from this and I'm moving on. I never get to that stage because, as cliche as it may sound, I think at times I use my heart to process so much that my brain doesn't work with it. I need that balance in my life. I need to use not only my heart and my emotion and my intuition, but I need my brain and my logic and my reasoning and kind of that knowledge side of things to decode what it is I'm going through and what I'm learning. And that really was so much of what I learned. The Emperor card is the companion card for the Empress, and I found that to be insanely true. The Empress card really taught me about emotion and how to process, and that, you know, even the emotions that we don't necessarily want to deal with or see or have are beneficial and are needed. We need to go through loss. We need to go through pain and some degree of suffering for us to come out the other end and emerge stronger. And the Emperor card, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to hold the camera still and I keep getting in the middle. And the Emperor card for me was really about, okay, so you've gone through this pain, you've gone through this hurt. Let's begin to process this and make sense of this and learn from it so you can stow it away as a past experience, not forgetting it, but not letting it control you. For me, it spoke very heavily to me controlling my past and my experiences and how I deal with them, not letting them control me. And control I've always kind of seen as a dirty word, and it really isn't. It's all about that balance. It's about moderation. It's about never letting things become too much, if that makes sense. So with that in mind, I found myself meditating a lot with the Emperor card. I found it very useful in my meditation, and so I wanted to make a meditation piece that I could put on my altar, and then when I found myself dealing with an issue or dealing with a problem, I can go to my divination, I can go to my intuition, I can go to my ways of dealing with things. But once I feel that that emotion kind of becoming too much and me not being able to deal with things properly, I have something tangible to look at, to hold, to meditate with, that will maybe help guide me to the logic and the reasoning and the common sense and the clarity that I need to find. So this might look a bloody mess, and I understand that, but for me, I actually really like it. It's very much what I was wanting. It started with a piece of wood. I believe it was a root of some sort. I found it at a park, and it kind of looked like a human heart in a way. It had the ventricles or the pumps on top. It had the little thing coming out the side. It had the bottom anchors, and I thought it was a great symbol of what I was wanting to do with this piece. I have a tendency to be ruled by my heart too much, so here's a realistic heart. Here's the rational heart. Here's the anatomical heart, so to speak. And then on it, you might not be able to see much of it now, but on top here, the Emperor is oftentimes shown with the, and I just knocked my clear quartz off. Awesome. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to fix that in a second. I'll just need to use a bit more sealing wax. So up here we have an Ankh. Oftentimes the Emperor is shown with an Ankh staff to symbolize his life force, his vitality. Although many people kind of review the card to be kind of cold and distant, he is very much about the life experience. He is very much a high energy card, and so I wanted that to be symbolized somewhere. So I do have an Ankh drawn here in red ink, red for life and vitality and passion and energy. And then on the left side, I have an orb, which traditionally he is shown with to symbolize the world for which he rules over. Then at the heart of this, I think over here you'll probably have the best view. I had written throughout here a little chant that I had come up with while working with the card and written it in Witch's alphabet. It basically is a chant, or a mantra I should say, that I kind of go over and ask for his sight and wisdom and logic to kind of guide me through the darkness. Then what I did was I took, it kind of looks like a mucky green, but it actually is a light yellow. It's one of my air corresponding candles. Air is the elemental correspondence for the card in a lot of resources, and I actually found that to be very much true. You've got the logic, you've got the clarity, communication is a very big part of it. And so I used one of my air correspondent candles, which happened to be a pale yellow, as kind of a foundation. And I used a 3-herb blend with lavender, mint, and lemongrass. Lavender for purity and cleansing and clarity of mind. Lemongrass for communication and again that cleansing factor. And mint to again cleanse but also to protect. All 3 of those herbs have, just a plethora of correspondences, but those were the ones I was using them for. That's what intent I put into them. Then I put in 4 crystal chips. I have a pure adventuring to symbolize earth. And the adventuring is good for calming emotions, kind of finding that inner peace, intellect, creativity, clarity, imagination, also vitality. Over here, I have a citrine. Citrine is good for luck, creativity, protection, self-esteem, abundance, mental focus, endurance, and clarity of thought. I believe also open-mindedness and courage. Down here we have carnelian to represent the fire element, and that was good for confidence, protection, energy, concentration, focus, protection, and again, courage. And then over here, I don't know how well you can see it. It kind of looks like a glob of wax, but it actually is amethyst to serve as the water element. And this was meant to add that increased spiritual awareness, because I did want to use this during spiritual acts like divination and meditation. But it also helps with judgment, stability, and I can't see that last bit. Sorry, I'm reading from notes. And common sense, which I actually really wanted to be included. Then what I did was apparently not very well. At the center of it, I used red sealing wax to secure my clear quartz. Clear quartz is to act as a point to kind of work towards that protection, meditation, psychic powers, balance, and magical strength. So kind of that's kind of working as the conduit between me and this meditative piece. And I chose red sealing wax again, just to kind of show that life force and that energy that the card has for me personally. So I am going to re-put some sealing wax on here and get that clear quartz to stick. And then, yeah, so that is my Emperor craft. And again, it's not very, at least on video, it doesn't look very pretty, but I really like it. I feel it feels really folky. And that sounds really weird, but my grandmother has a couple of altars, or had a couple of altars, I should say, that would have pieces like this. Like she would find a branch and she'd put wax and different herbs on there and some flowers, and it reminds me of that. It reminds me of some things that she taught me when I was younger. So I definitely feel connected to this piece. And I wanted to share it with you, not so much like, hey, look what I can do, because again, it's not very pretty, but I wanted to share it because I felt like, since I've downed the video so much regarding my tarot study, I do want to share this, even if it's not as pretty of a craft or even as successful of a craft. This I feel very powerful about. The energy is really cool on it. So I'm very pleased with it, even if it's not the most beautiful thing I've created. But I also wanted to share it just because it's like, you know, I think sometimes, I can speak for myself at least, I get very bogged down when I create something and I look at it and it's like, oh, I wanted it to look like this, or I wanted it to look like that. You know, sometimes things turn out certain ways for reasons. Sometimes when we create something and it's not exactly how we want it, we still need to kind of step back and say, you know, this is how the magic took effect. This is how the crafting happened. And there must be a reason for it. Obviously, if you don't resonate with something, you shouldn't use it. But if you ever craft something, if I ever craft something, I like remembering moments like this where, hey, it didn't turn out quite the way I was hoping for it. I had it very, very much in my mind as a very perfect piece. And when it doesn't come out that way, as long as I still feel warm and fuzzy about it, I should be good to go. So yeah, I guess that sentiment is the major reason I wanted to share it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night. Blessed be as always. Bye.